Vols are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
Woo-hoo! I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! That is by Tennessee to one Jennings. Jennings makes the...
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. You found a way, okay? All right, now, what I tell you, okay? All right, this decade is going to be the decade of the Vols. You got me?
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Wednesday, August 12th. We're ready to talk about some football because it's happening. Have some faith. It's happening in the SEC. We're only talking about the other conferences because we have to. It's NCAA football. It's part of it.
Yeah.
Because there's no concern here. Sounds like Greg Sankey is moving with what he trusts and what he's heard. Nothing's changed in the last 2 weeks, so why would they change their minds?
Yeah, I love that. The Big Ten and Pac-12 have canceled, but the other three conferences have. The Big 12 released their full schedule.
Did they?
And then Texas A&M and teams in the SEC are having uniform reveals.
Yeah, so I think everybody's expecting football
Full
to
speed
happen.
ahead. It's a train.
Yeah, why not? You should be. And I think with everything, with kids returning in the next couple weeks, you were right. Tennessee students are already back on campus. They started moving in this past weekend. I don't know why the outlook on football would change. And let's just go ahead and start talking about the Big Ten and Pac-12 as they did both decide. It obviously had nothing to do with the Big Ten's decision. Pac-12 already had it decided, but their news conference came 3 hours after their release.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just nothing's changed. So why? What was it? And they made their decision. Obviously, they made their decision Sunday night. There were rumors that the vote happened. They came out, said that never happened. It obviously happened.
Yeah, my question is with this whole thing is where the heck is the NCAA?
Oh, no. They are glad to let them make this decision.
Yeah,
they love it.
So that's my point. Like, Mark Emmert has basically been MIA during this whole process.
Yeah.
And they've known since March that, they need to get a plan in place. I think March 11th, which was 5 months from yesterday, is when the NBA canceled. Then you had the NCAA tournament canceled. You had conference basketball tournaments canceled. Like, you knew this could still be that way. Like, you had to get a plan in place, and basically the NCAA didn't do anything. So my question is, what is the point in the NCAA if they just leave it up to the conferences?
Yeah, I mean, that's
Is this the end? Is this the beginning of the end for the NCAA?
no.
You don't think that
No.
the conference will eventually just you don't?
Mm-mm.
A lot of people think that could be the
Nobody.
So why not? I guess is my question to you.
Because it's one of those things, why fix what's not broken? The schools that matter, the ones that would break away, the SEC schools, the ACC schools, they're all profiting. They're all doing fine. The coaches are getting paid millions. The athletic directors are getting paid millions. The only thing that would change it, and the only thing that could change it, are the players that are currently not playing the Big Ten and the Pac-12. The players that are in are going to play because that's how they get to the NFL. Why would they change what they're going to do? Why would the athletic directors change what's happening?
Yeah,
The teams that are playing this year will not affect the NCAA at all. No.
Well, I'm not saying this year, but I'm saying do you think they'll finally realize what is the point? Why can't we not have just I guess a board of directors or something like that over the conferences?
They're going to keep the teams together. They're going to, you don't want to, sure you have your own conferences, that they don't want to split up from the ACC. They don't want to be in their own world away from the ACC, or their own world away from the Big 12 or the Pac-12 or the Big 10. The Power 5 conferences are all okay with having one governing body over them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a lot more money to change what's happening, and the people that are making money aren't gonna do it. So I don't see an end to the NCAA. Here's what needs to be happening. I hope it's happening. So The Rock and his investors just bought the XFL a week ago.
Yep.
If I'm them, I'm pouring every penny I have into a bubble, and I'm getting every player from that Big Ten and Pac-12 teams or NCAA players that want to get paid, and I'm paying them in a bubble by the beginning of October.
And you're basically doing like a minor league team for the NFL.
Yeah.
Because there's not a team in minor league, I guess.
Because we're gonna do the little transfer portal draft that'll never happen.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of these players aren't going to transfer away because there's no point in it. A lot of teams don't have scholarships available to do that right now. Their scholarship limit's full. So yeah, if I'm a league that already has some footing, the XFL is still happening if not for the pandemic. It didn't fail its second time around.
Right.
It just didn't. If it was in its fifth year, it's probably still in existence because it has a little bit more of a nest egg. But they're in year one. They got screwed. So yeah, if I'm The Rock and I'm whoever's in charge of the XFL right now, I am preparing a bubble for October. Because if there's no college football, people are going to watch whatever's on TV.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right, we're doing that now.
Yeah, exactly. But I do think the SEC, ACC, and Big 12, those three conferences have proven they're going to do whatever it takes to play.
Yeah. I just think it kind of boiled down. I like the Pac-12 and Big 10. Like you mentioned it. Sunday night they made their decision. Like they were not going to play football. No matter what the players were saying. And to me, it kind of seemed like sports have been put on a back burner with those two conferences. That's what it seemed like to me. The presidents were more focused on the school, which brings me to a point. I just don't get how you can have however many kids show up and go to school, go to class, but you can't have kids play football.
It's past just going to class. Living in dorms, transporting by bus together, eating together. It's more like a lot of people are like you can socially distance in economics class better than you can a locker room. Can you in a dorm room? Are they giving every kid their own room? Or are they still living in the 14-foot by 14-foot room they're living in?
I mean, I've seen some of those classrooms at UT. It's like there's like 100 people in a chemistry class. You can't tell me it's safer to be 100 in a 100-person room in a chemistry class than there are 22 people on a football field. There's no way.
I mean, a lot of people are like they're socially distancing in the classrooms, and I'm sure they are, but they're still going back to their dorms. They're still walking in the halls together. They're still getting on the bus together to go from apartments to campus. Yeah, you might be able to socially distance in the classroom, but you can't. Just like, yeah, you can socially distance on a football field. You can't in the locker room. It's the same thing.
Yep.
And it's just clear that, and it blows my mind, that the presidents are not on the same page as the athletic directors, as the coaches, as the medical staff. The medical staff, from everything I've read about the Big Ten medical staffs were all good with the protocol moving forward. So why are we not listening to them? Why does someone who, there's plenty of doctors. It's not like there's plenty of people on the field who have done their fair share of schooling, who have studied what's going on in terms of these athletes' health conditions. Why do we not trust them?
Yeah.
They seem confident in what they're doing. Now, maybe Michigan's an outlier. I don't know. But
I mean, it blows my mind. There's 13 Big Ten schools going back to school, but they can't play football. And to have a mini bubble in football, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's something. It's a lot more. I feel like it's a lot more safer than it is just a regular student. You know, they can test. They have the funds. They have the resources to test multiple times a week. To have medical staff available 24/7,
which they said they were still doing. That's another thing that blows my mind. They're still allowing them to practice 20 hours a week.
Exactly. So what's the difference?
What is an extra 4 hours gonna do a week? Yeah. And if they're limiting the travel and the those two schools coming into contact, again, get back to my point. Shouldn't be on college. You shouldn't be on a college campus.
Yeah. What about all those kids that go home and then come back for breaks?
Exactly. For the weekend.
On weekend, yeah. Yeah, it's mind blowing. I just don't get it. I wish somebody would explain it to me because I just don't understand the reasoning.
No, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I said when the Big Ten and Pac-12 went to a a conference only schedule. I said that was it. They just decided they're canceling. They're for some reason pushing it off, and apparently, I don't know if it's true. Apparently, a source said it's clear we should have canceled a month ago. That means they were going to cancel a month ago, and they were just putting on a show.
Yeah, and is it liability? Because that doesn't make sense either. Because
They're football players. They're out there.
right, that the
Getting
liability
CTE.
is when they step on campus. That's liability. You have CTE, concussions, and then they want to push it back to the spring and make kids play a 24 to 30 game.
It's not.
Two seasons in a full calendar year. There's no way.
If you have hope that it's going to be played in the spring, I've got news. It is not going to be played in the spring.
Yeah, no.
So
Yeah, that's a get it off, kick the can down the road.
it's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing as pushing the decision back.
Yep.
Not going to happen.
And I get why the MAC and the Mountain West aren't able to do that.
Yeah.
They don't have the resources that Ohio State, Michigan
No.
does, but they do. And so that's why I feel like they were never going to play football, and they kind of say athletics are on the back burner.
I think a lot of presidents probably looked at an opportunity to say our school is going to be focused on more than football, but they're going to find out that the school doesn't necessarily need football to exist, but the schools need football to fund a lot of the overspending that they've been using the last 20 years. And they're going to find out that they've been overspending for the last 20 years.
You need football. You need football for funding your athletic programs, and it boosts your local economy. I mean, look at all those bars and restaurants during football season. They're packed.
Yeah. And you're not building some of the things that you've built on college campuses in the last 20 years without a large portion of donations and other things that maybe aren't a direct, like football doesn't directly impact, but has some impact on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm, a lot, like I said, a lot of these schools do just fine without college football, but they definitely are going to be, it's going to be a wake up call for some of the overspending that's occurred in higher education.
Yep.
In the last little bit.
It's wild.
Dude, a lot of you've seen a lot of smaller schools that have tried to keep up with some of the bigger schools and have lost a lot of money, have stopped holding classes, have shut down entirely due to this. And some of these schools some of the Big Ten schools, the bigger ones, are gonna be okay. They're not. But if they lose if they refuse to cut some of the things they're gonna have to cut when football's gone, it's gonna be interesting.
I just really wish somebody would explain to me like what made what went into the decision, because liability doesn't make sense, and then having class, if they cancel class and cancel football, that would make sense,
Right.
But since they're having class and nothing makes sense to me. I just wish somebody would explain what.
I hate the liability excuse because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's crap.
The liability, it's part. I mean, yeah, you have liability. That's football.
Yeah, it's one of the most dangerous sports in the world.
Yeah, and sure, it needs a lot of fixing, but it's liability. Like
that's why you have rules and try to prevent stuff like that.
It's why these schools are investing hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars into the medical stuff behind the scenes.
Yep.
I don't know. And apparently there are some, I know there's, because we've talked about it, and I know there's some issues with how COVID does affect, some of the, how your heart functions. Apparently that's a normal thing with virus. And from everything I understand, that it's something that can be closely monitored, and it's on the medical staff, just like anything else, like concussion protocol, just like that, and how you get them back ready to play. It's very similar. So while I understand there's going to be precautions that need to be taken, I don't know if just saying it's done for everybody is the precaution that should be taken. I don't understand that.
And their football programs are gonna be hurting if the SEC and the Big 12 and ACC all play and have a season.
What happens to those TV contracts? That's where most of these schools are making their money nowadays.
Yeah.
What happens to some of those?
I don't know. I mean, surely there's got to be something in it about. I don't know.
But again, that's why I say if I'm the XFL, I'm getting prepared and I'm telling ESPN, prepare your best offer. We'll have football on TV. Who does the Big Ten go through? Is it Fox or is that the ACC?
ABC maybe.
I don't know. Whoever it is,
Yeah.
I would be telling them, we'll have football for you. You prepare your best offer for football on Saturdays, Friday nights, whatever night you want it, whatever day you want it. We'll have football on TV. Apparently, the NFL is already working on Saturday games. That can't happen if college football is happening, so I'll be interested to see.
Right.
It's not going to be played in the spring. There's no way. Imagine playing spring Big Ten football during March Madness. Nobody's going to tune into that.
Well, and you're basically going to be playing with your second string because anybody with draft aspirations are gone. They're not playing.
No, not a chance. Not a chance.
So Ohio State basically loses all their starters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it'd be bad.
It's so dumb. I mean, a lot of these players have opted out already for the draft.
Not a lot.
Not a lot, but like big time, some big
time players.
Yeah,
but not a lot of players.
Yeah.
Whereas I think you'd see a lot more if it was in the spring. I think you would. And it's going to be, JUCO has already done that. JUCO's moving to the spring. Or I guess the, NCAA JUCO, whatever teams are in that. They've already moved to the spring. It's going to be, they're going to lose a lot of their best players.
Yeah. And in high school too. I mean, you've seen a lot of players like announce they're going to early enroll. And if they played in the fall, they would play their season. But if they move it to the spring, they're not going to be there.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible for high schools to move to the spring. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, you've already but you've already canceled a spring.
Yeah, that and like if they want to keep the other sport, it's just not possible. Yeah. I don't think high school can move to the spring.
College football playoff, do we have one?
No.
You don't think so?
I'd be shocked.
You don't think they could do a bubble for a month?
You wouldn't need to do it for a month. You need to do it for, depending on how you set it up, 3 weeks at the most, I think. Because you have rapid testing now.
I think you could do it. I have 4 teams. I mean, I
think it's possible. I would be pretty shocked.
Really?
Yeah, I'd be pretty shocked.
I thought I mean, what's good about the Pac-12, the Pac-12 wasn't going to get in there anyway.
No.
So this time you have basically 2 SEC teams, an ACC team, and a Big 12.
2 ACC teams. Notre Dame.
No chance. No chance. We're not going down that road.
I don't know if you get 2 SEC teams in there this year. Because they're going to be beating up on each other.
It's going to be tough.
I don't know if you would. Yeah, I don't know if you would. It's a 10-game schedule, too, which is different from 8. Obviously, it's 2 more.
Yeah.
I'm good at math.
It'll be interesting, like, if you have, like, I don't know, does a 2-loss SEC champion get in?
A 2-loss SEC champion? I mean, again, it depends on what the other conferences do.
Right.
So it's possible, yeah.
That would make the most sense to me if they did it based off, like, strength of schedule, obviously. Because, I mean, look at the Big 12, what they released. Oklahoma plays Texas. That's, like, the toughest game in the conference. I don't know how Baylor somehow is good every year. I don't understand it, but they play Oklahoma the last game of the season.
How many weeks was Baylor undefeated last year? It was a couple.
Yeah.
They were.
I want to say I don't know if Oklahoma and Baylor play at the end of the season every year.
Oklahoma almost got beat by Baylor last year. It took a all-world game from Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
To beat them.
So I don't know.
I mean, I guess I should.
But only one team in the Big Ten was going to be a contender, and that was Ohio State.
Yeah. Well, Penn State.
I don't think they'd be a contender.
Penn State was going to be a contender.
No.
Yes.
They're going to lose Ohio State and not get in. That's how it was going to go. Or
so they
Wisconsin was going to get in because they have a crap schedule.
Or that.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Penn State was going to be a contender, though. They were going to be just as much as Ohio State.
No, Ohio State's good.
I mean, yeah, but like Penn State's not terrible.
No, but
it was going to be
lose to Ohio State.
It was going to be the winner of those two teams that went from the Big Ten.
Michigan, baby.
Michigan can't beat Ohio State to go to the.
Speaking of Michigan,
they can't make it to the conference championship.
Did you hear? What's his name? Now Desmond Howard today.
No, I don't listen to Desmond Howard.
He was basically just going off about Nebraska and how they should be kicked out of the Big Ten. I'm like,
Nebraska would love that right now. That's what they're hoping for, Desmond Howard.
I was like, their biggest mistake is joining the Big Ten.
Well, that's what Big Ten's acting like they have power over Nebraska right now. If a conference offers Nebraska to move, they're gonna take that. But I don't know if is the president on the same page as the athletic department, because it seems like nobody else is.
Yeah. I don't know. Scott Frost keeps saying that they're looking at other options. I mean,
What does that mean? Who else is going to take them? SEC can't add anymore. The Big 12, I suppose, could.
and is it something that they've tried to move it to the spring so they haven't officially canceled the season or the year? I guess.
Wisconsin today said they haven't canceled all sports. Like they could be playing Tennessee. How dumb would that be if they had basketball and not football?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, just like the
Kids on campus.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I think SEC presidents meet tomorrow. So kind of talking about will college football happen at all. I think the athletic directors met today, and the presidents are going to meet tomorrow. I just can't imagine. I realize academia is different than football, but let's use common sense. Like if you're going to have kids on campus, what's the difference in liability in that and the liability in football?
They can sue too.
They can.
They have the right.
But you're shoving how many kids in a dorm? What's the difference in having 120 kids together?
I think there's more liability in that because you're like,
you can't monitor.
and most kids are paying their way.
Yeah, that too.
So they're kind of forced to do that. Or they don't get their, like, they have to do labs and stuff like that are in person that, has to do with their degree. So I don't know. I don't know how. It seems like there'd be more liability with that than there would football.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. I think college football will happen though for the remaining 3 conferences. I think they would have already followed suit if it were to happen. Now that's not saying I'm not saying it's 100% going to happen. I know all, but I've got to imagine they would have already canceled.
And why didn't the Big Ten try to push it back like the same as the SEC?
Yeah, they were going to start like early September, weren't they?
Yeah, September 3rd. And I mean, the SEC has like a month and a half.
I just want to know what's changed. What's changed from the beginning of mid-July to mid-August?
What changed when they released the schedule and 6 days later they
canceled?
That too. I have no clue.
And I'm not saying, I understand, like, I am well aware that cases are, in most places, still going up. But are they spiking? So they're not spiking enough to cancel classes. They're not spiking that much. SEC Dog said, let's talk about the Tennessee-Florida game. I have y'all winning that game.
Hey.
First game. I need the
that.
SEC to release a schedule. I need that to be week 1, Florida in Neyland, under the lights.
Packed house.
Boats on the river.
102,000.
Calhoun's is still going to be full.
It is.
They don't give a fuck about nothing.
No.
Play the Creed clip.
Yeah,
They don't give a fuck about nothing.
You answer yes any of those questions? No? Okay, you're good.
You have a fever? Yep. All right. Are you
sure?
paying?
You sure you got a fever?
Dude, I'm surprised. I mean, that place is nuts.
I do have a quote from Bob Bowlesby, which is the commissioner of the Big 12. He says, ultimately, our student athletes have indicated their desire to compete in the sports they love this season, and it is up to all of us to deliver a safe, medically sound, and structured academic and athletic environment for accomplishing that outcome. I think that's a good quote. I mean, that's kind of what Greg Sankey has been saying as well. Is they seem to actually be listening to their athletes, whereas the Big Ten was like, oh, all these players are like, oh, we want to play, we want to play.
That didn't matter. They'd already made their decision.
Right? Yeah. So again, that makes me think like they don't really care about sports.
Well, and that's another thing. How many presidents of universities, how many of them is this going to affect financially? Because I think 0 is the answer.
Yeah, because all those students are still paying tuition. I mean, a lot of those football players aren't paying a lot.
But their money isn't coming from the salary of that.
Right.
So they don't care. They don't care if football happens or not.
No.
It ain't affecting them personally. No, they don't give a crap.
Yeah, that's
It may affect a president's salary 10 years down the road, but how many of these guys are going to be the presidents of that university in 10 years?
probably not. Probably not.
So, yeah, they don't. Here, I think I'm trying to pull the Creed clip up. They don't give an F about nothing. Oh, I love that guy.
Kevin Warren is I think he's the commissioner of the Big Ten, and he was threatening to kick Nebraska out if they don't stop. I'm just like, because they want to play.
Kick them out. What? Who cares?
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. It's like,
How are they gonna cancel football if they kick everybody out?
right? And Nebraska wasn't going to compete for anything anyway. My thing is, like, the Arkansas AD and Sam Pittman were, like, tweeting we want to play and stuff like that.
No, you don't.
And that's my thing is, like, man, they actually want to play because they have the hardest schedule in ever.
They're sitting there
in
going,
college football history.
It's one of those things where you're like, I'll go. Man, I hope that gets canceled.
Yeah. I hope it rains.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's like, yeah, I'll go to Dollywood. Man, I hope there's like lightning. They close that park down. Oh my gosh. That's yeah, you know they do not. You know they're sitting here thinking, man, wouldn't it be awesome if this season got canceled?
Yep.
Good God.
Guys, I do want to remind you to go check out our sponsors that make this show possible, Tennessee Tap House and Hound Dogs. Go check them out. And go check out volunteerroadshow.com. They got a lot of merchandise available in their store. They got some masks. They got Tennessee Canopy, Tennessee lawn chairs. So go check those out. Maybe we'll do some giveaways soon.
Maybe. We're working on some stickers right now.
Yeah, maybe.
We've got some stickers on the way, but then working on some more.
Oh.
Yeah. We're going to make it
all
happen.
excited. Do us a favor. Go like, retweet this, share it, get it out there for us. We appreciate it.
Yeah. We're doing a giveaway today?
We can.
Let's do a giveaway.
Okay. All right. So if you do hashtag GBO.
Hashtag GBO. I'm going to try to stay in the comments. Comment on either YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Ask some questions, too, if you got them. We can talk about the Florida game, I guess. I don't know what you want to talk about. Tennessee's going to win. SEC dog. But I've got YouTube and Twitter. Landon's got Facebook. So drop some questions in there if you've got them. And make sure you comment hashtag GBO to be entered for the drawing. We'll select one random winner at the end. $20 gift card? Is that right?
Yeah. To the Volunteer Roadshow store.
There you go. Perfect.
Yep.
That's all you need. That's it.
Dude. I know this changes every time, but I feel good about the Florida game.
You feel good about the Florida game?
I feel better than I do against Alabama and Georgia.
Here's the thing. I'm going to talk like I'm really confident. Because it could get canceled. Like, Tennessee's going to win.
Is this the Arkansas thing?
Exactly.
You hope it rains? You hope it storms?
Let's yeah.
You hope there's a Oregon monsoon?
God, dude, that was... First off, I love how they got everybody to the concourse to where we're like standing shoulder to shoulder, and we're all like holding on to like the metal framing of the stadium.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this really safer than the bleachers?
So which was worth, the Oregon one or the LSU one?
LSU by far.
You think so?
Because it was just...
I was so much younger, I don't remember, but I remember running. We left at the Oregon game, and I was literally running. I ran to Rush's music.
It was just
I ran to Calhoun's.
It was just so much colder at the LSU game.
That's true.
It was cold. It was like November 17th, I think, something like that. It was a cold game already. Not freezing. It wasn't too cold, but it was cold. And colder than September Oregon. So, yeah, Oregon was miserable, though, because it happened. Now, I will say that. That made it a little bit worse. Oregon happened in, the first quarter. So, everyone was still there. So, LSU happened at, halftime. Everyone knew the storm was coming, so everyone started to leave. And then Vanderbilt this year, there was a storm delay. It didn't. Nothing like either of those games. But it was a storm delay, and they pushed everybody up to the concourses. Half people left, so it wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
That was similar to the LSU game.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was actually rewatching the LSU game the other day.
Ugh.
They had to move, so I didn't know this because I'd never watched it on TV. They had to move the camera. First off, we were only down by 7 at the half.
Yeah, in Oregon we got blown out.
Yeah.
So that probably made it worse too.
And apparently we got a violation for watching film during the break. And that did nothing for us.
Dang it.
You can't,
what are we watching? I mean, you can't really do anything in the rain anyway.
you can't get in
when
trouble
it's that
for
bad.
cheating and lose.
Right.
Well, they got
Like, what adjustments are we going to make? Really?
Yeah, I think they had played like 30 snaps. I don't know how far we were into the first quarter. I don't even remember exactly that delay. But the LSU game, they had the camera it was that hard to see. They had to move all the camera angles to on the field. So like the first 8 plays of the second half, the entire camera angle was from behind the Tennessee sideline.
Oh, did we get some action shots of Brady Hope?
No action shots of Brady Hope. They actually did not mention it that much, shockingly.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's for the best.
Right.
I mean, he's the one that definitely got the violation, so it wasn't.
No. It was during the Oregon game that happened.
Oh, okay. Not
the LSU game.
Well, dang, that was stupid because we got blown out after
So
that.
Tennessee got in trouble because they used equipment not available to Oregon during the rain delay, which was the camera equipment and I guess projector. So
Oh, well, they should have taken it.
should have been the home team.
Yeah.
Should have been the home team. Should have went to Eugene.
So
let's do this
like the
let's do
oldest
some
name.
transfer portal drafting because I think this is interesting.
it's fun.
Yeah, man, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, do you see does this have an impact in recruiting? I think it's going to have an impact with transfers. I think the Big Ten and Pac-12 are maybe saving themselves a little bit by just saying they're going to play in the spring. But if you really look into it, that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
So yeah, I think it has an impact. I just don't know. I think if we would see a lot more impact if the NCAA had the one-time transfer rule already done.
Yeah.
But if they're just checking it off, like they seem to be doing, except with Kate Mays, I don't know.
I don't know how this. So I assume you mean the cancellation of the season, how it impacts recruiting. I don't know how, because it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna necessarily keep you from going to a school. It could be good for a school like Tennessee that the only thing that could slow down their recruiting is a losing record.
Yeah.
So it could be good for schools that are on that edge.
Also scary too.
Very scary. So it definitely could affect you negatively, but it could also affect you positively. Like Tennessee, if they went out, they do have good momentum, but if they went out and won 8 games, you're going to see a bump in recruiting, obviously.
Yeah.
So
and you're not going to be taking any visits, so it's good for Tennessee right now.
Yeah.
Is like they're not able to be, going to all these different schools throughout the fall. So Tennessee basically has their class already. They're not able to see. They're able to do Zoom, but I mean, how much can you really sway a kid?
yeah. I don't know. I don't know how it necessarily impacts recruiting. I think it just depends on the team, honestly.
And could players realize that the Big Ten just does and Pac-12 just doesn't care about the athletes?
I don't know. I mean, do they care any more or less than other schools? I don't know. Because I don't know. I mean, because I think they're putting on this. I don't think canceling the season means they don't care about the athletes. I think it just means they don't care what they necessarily think.
Right, I guess their voice doesn't matter.
Right.
There seems to be a bigger emphasis with the other conferences, focusing more on the athletes, where this decision had nothing to do with the athletes.
Which, I mean, they could still sell it in recruiting that they care about their well-being and they think this is smart not to play football during the pandemic, and that's fine. And I think another...
No, the way we're going to use it as.
Yeah. And I think a lot of teams, the Big Ten, Pac-12, they don't want to admit that these players don't benefit. They don't want to admit that. They've been able to put on this this phony. They get scholarships, they get housing, they get name recognition from our program. They don't want to admit that during this pandemic they're playing for free. They refuse to admit that, and you have to address that concern when they have to play during the pandemic. If they don't play during the pandemic, you can still say, well, what are you really putting at risk?
Well, Kevin Warren was asked, the Big Ten commissioner was asked about the athletes and what went into the decision, and he basically he mentioned 5 different times they're amateurs.
I'm telling you, that's part of it. They don't want to admit that they should be getting paid or they should be able to profit off of their likeness, or they should be able to. They don't want to admit that.
Right. And playing football is how they make money.
Yeah.
Is later on. I mean,
Right.
not at this moment, but they're playing to better themselves, so they get drafted. They get a good contract in the NFL. So yeah, they feel like they're losing out on money. So yeah, they want to play.
Yeah, the NCAA is not willing to. Sorry, the Big Ten, Pac-12 are not willing to admit that. I think that's part of it too. So, did the conferences make mistakes? Pac-12 and Big Ten, did those players make mistakes in terms of being able to play this season? I don't think they made a mistake by putting those demands out there. Did they make a mistake by putting those demands out there? It made it easy. Like any other year, the Pac-12 and Big Ten can't just go, we don't want to address that and look away. This year they could go, well, we're not playing because of the pandemic. It was easy to dodge those bullets.
Well, I mean, and those two were the only two that released those demands.
That's what I'm saying.
So do you think they felt underappreciated, and they released that, and then it came like then they're even more underappreciated. I don't know.
I just think it's they're not willing to admit how they treat athletes.
Yeah.
And now they're putting on this facade of we care about their well-being. We care about their well-being. And
but you want them to play a 24 to 30 games in a calendar year. Yeah, that makes
exactly.
sense.
And shoot, I lost my train of thought. But they were, as soon as they put out that list of demands, I think that both conferences kind of looked at this as, well, you don't have to play this year.
Yeah.
So good. We don't have to. We'll push that back to next year. We'll address this in 2021. Mm-hmm. They're gonna have to. I think. I hope they stick with it long enough. I hope so.
Yep. I hope the excitement of college football and the excitement of the rest of the teams playing. I hope the conferences do take a hit. The ones that the Pac-12 and the Big Ten take a hit in recruiting and stuff like that.
Yep.
We'll see if it necessarily affects the actual recruits and commits and things like that for next year. But I think the excitement and them just not playing on Saturdays, I feel like that could definitely hurt a team.
Yeah, and teams are going to lose exposure. They're not going to be on TV. Yep. So it definitely could affect teams. Let's get into the transfer portal draft though, because we're going to pretend like the conferences are the ACC, Big 12, ACC, Big 12, SEC get to draft players from Ohio State pretty much.
Yeah. So we're obviously drafting for Tennessee.
Right.
So we kind of went off, or I kind of went off.
Did you go who would be there? I just went best players.
Yeah. Or
Five best players.
I just went not who would be there, but like best fit for Tennessee.
That's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So we'll start. Caleb, I'll let you go first.
I went Justin Fields.
You're the visitor.
I'm the visitor. I went Justin Fields. That's the biggest question Tennessee has. Quarterback. And I know you have a 5-star freshman. I get it, but would you not take the guy that's won games for Ohio State?
100%.
Yeah, you would.
You think he regrets leaving Georgia now?
Do what?
Do you think he regrets a little bit? He's like, man, what if I would just stay?
Probably not.
Yeah, because he probably wouldn't have started last year.
Yeah, probably not. He might have. I don't know.
He should have.
Should have, yeah.
Right. So my first one, since you went Justin Fields, that's probably the obvious choice, is I went another big need, and that's edge rusher. I went Kayvon Thibodeau, Oregon.
Yeah.
Defensive end. Freshman All-American, led the nation. Get this stat. So led the nation with 7 sacks in the fourth quarter. I don't know
what that means, but I like it.
Yeah.
Is that a pro football stat? Pro football focus?
Gotta be. He had 9 sacks, 14 tackles for loss, former 5-star, all conference in his freshman year. So I just think kid's a real deal. I mean, he's going to be a top 5 draft pick here in the next couple of years.
Dude, Oregon could have been pretty good this year. They probably won the Pac-12.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
If they played.
Yeah, 100%.
Oregon's probably pissed off they got canceled. They should be.
Yeah.
They should be.
I mean, they probably the best. They have that best offensive line men in the country.
Yeah.
And probably one of the best offensive lines, and they have playmakers all around that team.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
It is.
Well, it's cool,
back to the Chip Kelly days, man. Yeah. My next one, I would have gone Micah Parsons here because I think Tennessee needs another linebacker. They need to add depth. He wouldn't be playing this year, so I know this is a rhetorical situation, so I probably should have gone with him anyways. But I went with from Oregon State, Hamilcar Rashid. I don't know how you say his first name. It's a weird name. Hamilcar Rashid. Rashid's his last name. I got that one down.
Hamilcar.
Hamilcar. I don't know. But I went with him.
Like I want to know like what words combined. Is it?
No clue.
I don't know.
But regardless, he had 22 and a half tackles for a loss last season. I think he led Oregon State in tackles. Any good linebacker would be nice to have on Tennessee. You know, not that I think Tennessee's linebacker group is going to be good this year, but if you could add an experience there, that would be amazing.
Oh yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, and I don't know if we mentioned we're not players who already opted out of the season before the decision was made. We didn't count them.
Right. In our rhetorical world, we're going to play it
like they're going to
in honor of their world.
They're going to transfer. So my next one, I went quarterback. I went Tanner Morgan, quarterback from Minnesota, all Big Ten second team. Davey O'Brien, semifinalist, threw for 3,253 yards last season, 30 touchdowns. He's 15-4 as a starter at Minnesota.
Dang, that's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Row the boat.
Somebody compared him. He's the Big Ten's Joe Burrow, is what I read.
Didn't Joe Burrow play in the Big Ten?
Yeah.
Isn't Joe Burrow the Big Ten Joe Burrow?
The new Big Ten Joe Burrow. I don't know. He's really good. So I definitely think Tennessee could use a quarterback, an experienced quarterback.
Get a winner. 15-4. At Minnesota,
he threw 7 interceptions, which JG threw 8 interceptions, but he threw for 30 touchdowns. If you're throwing 8 interceptions, you better have 30 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a good ratio there. My next one is wide receiver Amon Ra, I think, St. Brown from USC. Get it wrong. I think he was 1,100 yards last year. That would help a lot. Especially since you dropped your 2 best wide receivers.
I almost pick Slovis from USC quarterback.
Okay.
Almost picked him up.
He's supposed to be the real deal.
He had a JT Daniels?
Yeah, he was sophomore this year.
Yeah.
But then they went and canceled, so. Though, is it a sophomore slump or a junior slump when he comes back?
I don't know. That's another. They get their year back.
Yeah, have to, right? Oh, how does that affect? That's gonna be. It brings up your point from the get go about the NCAA though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's keep doing the draft. We'll talk about it.
Where you at? So my next one is Sean Wade, the DB from Ohio State, was all Big Ten, third team, former 5-star, 26 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 1 interception last season, 2 forced fumbles. He would just be a great addition to that secondary because he's a guy that's played safety, he's played corner, he can play anywhere. That's Jeremy Pruitt and Derrick Haynes' dream.
Yeah.
So you could put him in the star, you could put him at safety, corner, anywhere you needed him, and you have some athletes there that you could use them around. So
right, yeah. I went out and got a defensive back in the 4th round. I got a safety, replaced Nigel Warrior. Skylar Thomas out of Washington State, led Washington State in interceptions. I think he had 72 tackles, 2nd ranked on the team. It's gonna be interesting to see. Nigel Warrior was a anchor on that defense in the back half of the season.
Safety had 72 tackles.
Yeah,
where's everybody else?
Washington State.
Where is everybody else at? Jeez,
it's not necessarily it's a good thing, but it's not a good thing. So, and if he's one of your leading tacklers, where are your linebackers at?
Jeez. Everybody just get out the way.
But hey, maybe he's playing that rover position, getting up around the line of scrimmage.
Maybe. Like star position maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. 72 tackles, Jesus. So my next one.
He was 2nd on the team in tackles.
Was the other safety that
I can look. I don't know.
Jeez, Washington State needs a freaking defensive coordinator.
I mean, are we shocked at all?
No, we're not.
Okay.
Definitely not shocked.
I wasn't when I read that stat.
Yeah. But my next one, 4th round, I got Pat Freiermuth, the tight end out of Penn State. I love, one of my favorite things about this is...
The last 2 guys, it sounds like you're in a baseball draft.
Yeah, absolutely. But I love, doing this show because we get to pronounce names. Like, that's one of my favorite
Incorrectly.
things. Yes, incorrectly. But I like to practice it until I get it correctly.
Hamilcar.
Uroš Plavšić. He's 6'5", 260, had 69 receptions. Nice. What'd you find?
The linebacker, the leading tackler for Washington State, had 141 tackles. Whoever is keeping stats is investigated by IRS. They're embezzling funds. They are padding the stats. 141 tackles? 68 assisted? Bullshit. Bull.
Are they just giving him an assisted tackle? Every
touched
tackle
it.
ever made.
He got there.
Yeah.
73 solos, 68 assisted, 141.
Or are they just playing 11-on-2? It's just the linebacker and the safety. That's all that they have on their defense. Jesus Christ, man.
I can't remember what football team it was our senior year, but they submitted all the stats for the all conference stuff, and some dude had like 170 tackles. I was like, I mean, you can't.
17 tackles a game?
Can't be real.
Yeah, that's bullcrap. So he was 69 receptions, which is nice. In his career, 15 have gone for 6, so 15 touchdowns out of those 69. It's a good average.
That is good average.
Second team, All-American, All Big Ten, first team, Pat Fryermuth.
I just changed.
We need a tight end.
We do, but I just changed my 5th. I'm going and getting this dude from Washington State. He had 141 tackles.
Dang, you're taking Henry To'oTo'o's job.
God bless. Who writes that in and is like, that seems like the right number?
Yeah, that's good.
That's incredible. Yeah, he's still at Washington State. How do you not get drafted after that? Why are you not going to the draft, man? Oh, he's a Pacific Islander. That's why. That makes sense.
Oh, he's just a beast.
Yeah.
That he's got a name
Henry
you can't
To'oTo'o.
pronounce.
Yeah. That's Jihad Woods,
Oh,
which doesn't sound like a Pacific Islander, but he is.
gotcha. So you're going with him?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I went with CJ Verdal from Oregon. He had 1,000 yards in the last 2 seasons each. Had like 300 yards receiving last year at Oregon. Oregon would have potentially been playing for the college football playoff this year.
Oh, yeah.
And they canceled their season. Maybe they want to come
Yeah,
join the Big
the
12.
one time they might have a team that actually might make it, they canceled. Yeah, that's hilarious. He's a running back too, right?
Yes, he is a running back.
The running back,
I
y'all.
think he's a junior this year, and he already has like 2,200 yards rushing. Yeah, baller.
Is he little like a scat back, like a DeAnthony Thomas type?
I don't think so. Let me look.
Is he like LeGarrette Blount, just a fucking mammoth?
I don't know why you went the 2 opposite ends of the spectrum. I don't think he's either of those. I think he's like a normal size back. I think he can walk well on his own.
Okay, well, that's no fun.
And I think he's also like a good size football player.
Okay.
I would say the number 7 looks big on him. He's 5'9". Okay, he is both. He's
Well,
5'9", 205.
Wait. The Oregon numbers are big on.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I don't know what that means.
Okay.
He's both actually. He is 5'9",
Okay.
and then he's also 205. So he is actually both of those running backs combined.
So he's probably about a Ty Chandler.
Yeah. I'm just joking because
I think Eric Gray weighs more than that.
yeah, I think it's like
And
210.
Ty Chandler, yeah.
The Anthony Thomas is like what, 5'7", 5'6",
Yeah, and like
and then
probably
LeGarrette,
$160.
and then LeGarrette Blount's like 230.
And he will punch you in the face. My next one is I went receiver. I think Tennessee could use a veteran receiver. So I went Ohio State wide receiver Chris Olave. He was
Great
third.
pronunciation.
Yeah, third team All Big Ten. Play special teams. Actually had a block in a game. So
Love it. Sign him up.
Yep.
Special
Juwan
teams wins the
Jennings
game, baby.
type. 840 yards receiving, 12 touchdowns, 17.5 was his average per catch. Led the team.
Is Tennessee playing for a college football playoff they can draft? Can Pruitt draft? Is he a good drafter?
I think if we get either your list or my list, I think
We gave you the framework, Pruitt.
I think
Now
you-
just run with it.
right. Yeah, we set him up. We gave him the assist. We threw him the lob. He just got to dunk it.
Exactly. They've got DeAnthony Thomas. Is he at the Bills? They've got him listed at 5'8", 176. I'm calling horse crap.
Yeah,
It's not
he ain't
5'8".
Yeah, I thought the
measuring
NFL was supposed to hurt your feelings.
Yeah. This is pro football reference, so not Focus.
Oh.
Otherwise,
There's another one.
Otherwise, he'd be Pro Football Reference is the stat keeper.
Oh.
If it was Pro Football Focus, he'd be like, yeah, he's
Is
five.
that the one there that the guy has 141 tackles?
Yeah. Well, that College Football Reference.
Oh, okay.
Right, same people. But yeah, if it was Pro Football Focus, he'd be like, yeah, he's 5'7" when he wakes up, but by 3 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon, he's 5'8" and a quarter of an inch.
Are they measuring him in his pads?
Maybe. Might be it. Helmet on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know if you can tell I hate Pro Football Focus. Because JG's dad loves
Yeah,
it.
I was like, do you know who they love? We're actually about to talk about that. That was fun. We should do that more often. We should have
More hypothetical drafts.
yeah
Let's do it.
about transfers.
Anybody.
Yeah,
Let's draft like the Monstars next week. I don't know.
yeah, that's true. We should. I call the blue one. He's big and tall.
I haven't seen that movie since I was like 10.
I think he's like
It's on Netflix.
Is it blue? Maybe it's green. I don't know.
I haven't seen that movie since
Big
I
and
was-
tall one. He's like a stretch 4.
Yeah. Okay. Do they have positions? Do the Monstars have positions?
No, they just win or lose.
Or lose? Is it still on Netflix? Do you know?
I have no clue. I finished Umbrella Academy.
What is that about?
It's kind of weird. I would. Have you seen Marvel's Runaways? No. It's kind of like series of unfortunate events mixed with like an off-brand Avengers.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how to like it's one of the it's a Netflix series, so you
It's
know
like the 2 minutes I
weird.
watched. So is a kid orphaned and then gets like superpowers?
So they're all born on the same day.
And they all come together because of that?
The guy who sets this up buys them. So there's like 40
So
something.
it's like Taken.
It's like 40 something, and he buys the kids, and he gets 7 of them. 7 of like the 40 or 30 or something like that, or 300. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd like it.
And he just calls them by their number.
Is it their birthday? Because that'd be confusing.
No, 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7.
So it's like Stranger Things. 11.
So it is. Yeah, series of unfortunate events, Stranger Things, off-brand, Avengers. Yeah,
Name just
something
another
like
series that it's like. I don't.
that. Just name a series.
That it's like, yeah. You named like 3. Name like another one.
Uh,
It's like Hard Knocks.
no,
Sort of.
I wouldn't say that.
A little bit.
No, not even.
You're bringing people together from different backgrounds, sounds like. So a little
I'll
bit of Hard
say
Knocks mixed in.
little bit of Last Chance U, maybe.
Okay.
Not Laney, but
Dude, after watching Independence and going back and watching Buddy Stevens, he's a good guy.
wait, what?
After watching like Independence and then going back and watching Buddy Stevens, he's not a terrible guy.
Who, Buddy Stevens?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, not as... It is amazing after watching someone like Jason Brown coach what watching another coach will do. It's incredible.
you're a coach, so does it kind of boost your confidence a little bit? You're like, hey, I'm not a terrible coach.
Oh, Jason Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if anyone's like, I don't like the way you talk to them, I'd be like, do you want an alternative? Here you go.
And you put on.
Bobby Bruce, fuck you.
We need to make a highlight video of you coaching. That would be funny.
No, it'd just be... No.
Yeah, that would be great. You look good. You look good in pants.
I look great. I don't wear pants when I coach.
You don't?
No,
You wear shorts.
typically.
Do you wear the uniform? You should wear a uniform.
Yeah. I'm like a baseball manager. I've actually got my own number. They're like, Coach, can I have number 6? Already called.
Yeah.
By who? Don't worry about it.
I got it. I got it.
How does that happen in clubhouses? Has that ever been an argument? It's like, oh, that's a coach's number.
It's like, Coach, I wanted 6, but I got 36. I just get a whatever number.
You're wearing 6. So I'd like to know how that, if there's ever been any arguments over that.
They try to pay their manager for the
exactly
for this number.
Like Aaron Judge wears 99, right? What if a coach got 99 because he's like, nobody's ever gonna pick that, and then Aaron Judge comes in, he's like, I want 99. Coach has already gotten, like, he's already bonded to that number.
I guess what's more important in high school? Probably a coach is more important than players.
I don't know.
But at that level, a player is probably more important than the manager.
I think I've got to think a player is the most important all the time.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I guess development wise at that stage,
I think it depends on how you look at it, because there can, at any level, there can be mismanagement that can lead to losses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's true. I just don't like if a team is bad, a manager is not going to come in and probably turn that team around in one season. Whereas like a player could turn it around.
It depends. Yeah, I mean, I think you're.
I get what you're saying. So I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying like,
No. I mean, I feel like it's probably. I'm 50-50. I don't know if you can put that into statistics, but it depends. It does, because like Patrick Mahomes ain't gonna go win a lot of games in Jacksonville. Could he go win a lot of games in?
But he makes them
at Tennessee. Yeah. Tennessee Titans. Yeah. Not, and I'm like, I realize so Tennessee's not a great example. Let's go more like Patrick Mahomes could go and win a lot of games. I feel like Buffalo's getting better.
He could probably win games in Carolina.
Patrick Mahomes could go win a lot of games in New York Jets. He could not win a lot of games right now in Miami.
Miami's ass.
So like I think it definitely depends. Now, if you got a good...
How good are the Jets, though? They lost Jamal Adams, Robbie Anderson?
I think they've got more talent than Miami.
Oh, yeah. So does Alabama right now.
Fair. So, I mean...
And if Tennessee gets all these players we just drafted, they could probably beat the Miami Dolphins.
Right.
Have you heard the Miami Dolphins chant?
No. Do they spell their name like every other NFL team?
No. So... It's weird, like, so I did, like, the quarterback challenge or whatever they do, and I got drafted to the Dolphins.
On Madden?
Yeah.
Or in real life?
It's real life. Yeah. I'm still waiting. I'm holding out.
Gotta pass the physical?
I'm holding out. I need a better contract. But it's like, Miami Dolphins. And then something at the end. I don't know. I can't make out what they're saying. But it's like da-da-da-da-da-da.
I've never been cared for Miami, so no, I don't know that one.
I don't hate the chant. It's better than like go
Dolphins,
Steelers. I don't know what their chant is, but
what do they do in Neyland or not Neyland? Well, they do it. They used to do it in Neyland. I don't know if they've done it lately, where they bring the cheerleaders out before the band comes on. Like, this side's orange, this side's white, orange, white, orange.
Oh, is it like the basketball where they do?
Yeah. But it never works out well.
The VOLS chant in Thompson Bowling is sad.
When are they going to get rid of that? Ever?
It's bad.
Should we get rid of the guy?
I don't want to say yes, or I don't want to say anything to that.
Yeah,
because...
don't deny. That I've never in my life seen a good chant in a stadium led by someone with a microphone. Ever.
Yeah.
That's the rule. If the chant has to be led by a microphone, it's not going to be good. Period.
No.
That chant would work out well if it was done by the fans.
And it's weird because there's so many like sections that are like,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, not in it.
Everyone's like, my V or no.
Like,
or my an L. I'm just kidding. There should be nobody that confused.
Well, it's like the people that like. There's obviously like the O is definitely the loudest, so they like creep over there and be like, "I want the T-shirt. I want the T-shirt."
Dude, I just hope they end that chant. I don't think they've done the football one in a while. They used to do it. It used to drive my dad would be pissed about the one in Thompson. When the people would come out at football games, he would like, oh, Like, this again? Like, get him off the field. I'm like, Dad, calm down. He's like, no, this is terrible. I'm like, I agree, but you're more upset about this than Tennessee getting their ass kicked. Like, chill out.
Yeah. We got other priorities.
Which, I mean, hey, maybe that guy hadn't been out on the field in a while. It might be a little correlation. I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know.
You want to talk about the quarterbacks a little bit?
Yeah, we started talking about it.
Yeah,
and
we're
then
kind of
died
flying
off.
Like, this is flown by. So yeah, let's get into that. So JG, somebody was talking to me about JG, and he doesn't think that he's going to take the next step, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. And I'm not making excuses for last year, but last year you couldn't run the ball. That's fact. We were second to last in the conference in rushing per game. We were, I think, third to last in rushing yards per game. I mean, we just couldn't run the ball, so we're throwing. So I think, like, when a team knows you're doing one thing, they're able to just stop
they're
that
able to
one
key in
thing.
a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I don't necessarily disagree. I don't know if he takes the next step. I think things are working for him. You got the OC, the same OC that you've never had before.
I think he's got a better chance this year of taking the next step than he did last year.
Right, I agree.
I'm not saying he will.
Right,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I am kind of still in the boat of, I think, most of all fans of hoping that Harrison Bailey, because I don't think it'll happen, hoping that Harrison Bailey's the starter.
Yep.
What about Casey Hill transferring? Does that mean there's maybe some more clarity on who the starter is?
I just think he was a walk-on last year. He was never going to see the field.
Right, but you always
unless Butch Jones is here, he's had 2 ACLs, so he was never going to see the field.
during a QB contest though, you always believe in yourself. So I'm saying is there maybe some more clarity already in who it's going to be.
Yeah, or maybe they're just like, hey man,
We need a
maybe he thought he was going to get a scholarship, and then there just isn't room.
right.
So I don't know. I mean, I definitely think it's between. I hope Brian Maurer takes the next step. I mean, I don't really care who it is.
I think Brian Maurer just doesn't have the intangibles to be a really good SEC quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got like the balls. I just think a lot of it is just like, I don't think he reads defenses or anything like that. I just think he just goes out and
he's passionate.
Yeah,
he plays with a lot of
and
passion.
uses his athletic ability.
Yeah. I feel like that's it. I like JT Stroud a lot. Some rumors have been floated that the staff are not fans of him, which is weird. I don't know. Who knows what's up with him? But I've always thought JT Stroud was a really talented quarterback. I thought he proved that at times last year. Raw arm ability.
Yeah, I think he throws the ball well. I don't think
he's not head and shoulders better than, or he's not even necessarily better than anyone else.
Right. He does make some decisions that are suspect, and so does JG. I'm not saying that, but like, I think it was Kentucky when he got in and he was running for the first down and like goes out of bounds at the
Mississippi
State,
or South Carolina.
Okay,
South Carolina.
Yeah, it's. I'm just like,
I almost got in a fight over that. Thank you.
Come on.
Thank you, JT. I defended you, and I was wrong.
What did you? Okay, I don't want to send you on a ramp.
I don't need to be on a tangent. So it was from my angle. I'm behind the play, so I can't really see. I just assume
He got it.
he, like everybody would do,
Yeah, just.
and he didn't. And the guy, and I'm like, how do you miss that call, ref? And the guy, of course, has to turn around and argue with me. And I'm like, nope, he missed the call. He missed the call, blah, blah, blah. And then the next USC series, he turns around and says something to me. And I'm not going to keep my mouth shut. He's like, that's 10 yards. And then it was like a 25-yard gain. And I was like, that was 25 yards. He's like, it was a first down. And I was like, yeah, but it's not 10 yards. He's like, you know what I meant. And I was like, no, I didn't. I was just being a smart ass. But yeah, that's... So I defended JT Stroud and almost got in a fight over it. So.
Yeah. I just don't think like. I think the game is a little. It looked a little fast for him last year.
Yeah, but he didn't get a lot of chances either. Like he didn't get a lot of playing time.
No, and that's tough to just come in whenever. Like you're not knowing when you're gonna. That's tough.
He played the South Carolina game. What other games did he play? pull it up real quick. I don't remember him getting a lot of snaps other than South Carolina, which he played after JT went out with a broken hand. JT did not return that game. So
when did Maurer get that was
Mississippi State, but I think JG came in.
So did Shrout play any against?
I'm trying to pull it up right now. Game logs.
I don't remember.
Okay, so it has him playing one, or it has him throwing once at Alabama. Has him throwing 9 times at Chattanooga, and 6 at UAB. So he got some garbage time plus South Carolina. South Carolina, he was 7 for 11 for 122 yards, and then that bomb to Callaway.
That was a bomb. Yeah,
Hit him in stride, which is something you don't normally see UT the last couple of years.
I don't know. I just hope, I think the backs are going to be better. I think you're not having to throw the ball all the time. I think you're going to focus on running the football, which I think that helps Garantano. He doesn't have to be everything.
Right. Can we just quit throwing effing bubble screens? None of our quarterbacks can complete the pass.
Yeah, just stop.
Fucking quit.
Hey, Harrison Bailey can.
No, he can't. I already know it. You put on orange and something happens. You cannot throw that pass.
He's got black right now, so he can right now, but when he puts on the orange,
It makes no sense. I don't know why. It's something about that freaking jersey. Can't complete a bubble screen. I get it. It's not an easy 5-yard pass to make. Like, that's the most difficult 5-yard pass to make. But my God, don't hit him in the feet. Ever. Again.
Yeah. You should be able to hit that.
You should.
We could go out there and hit that.
I don't know if I could. I'm too mental.
I think we
But
could.
I just don't know how you hit him in the feet. Throw it over their head. Give them a chance to catch it.
Yeah. So do you think Brian Maurer has a chance?
No.
Do you think JT Shroud has a chance?
No.
So who would you pick, Brian Maurer or JT Shroud?
To transfer?
Yes.
Probably Maurer, because I think Maurer probably has a better chance to play somewhere else.
Gotcha. I didn't think about it that way. I mean, I guess who's last on the depth chart?
I got to think Shroud, just because I think Maurer at that point, they're probably going to bring in somebody who brings energy. And Maurer brings that just by the way he acts.
Yeah.
So I got to think Maurer is in front of Shroud. But, I don't know. I don't know if they know. I think that would probably be all right, they're both down. Shit, who do we want? Let's go with whoever threw the best last pass. Whoever threw the best last pass on Thursday is who we're throwing in the game.
So you think it's JG and Harrison Bailey?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that way too. I think there's a little bit more competition this year than there was last year. Like Brian Maurer was a true freshman. JT Shroud was a redshirt freshman.
You've got to think they're closer than they were last year. Yeah.
So I just think hopefully that elevates JG.
I just got to think with Kasem Hill transferring that there's more clarity. I guess they've at least given the depth chart out, and Kasem Hill is at least 4th.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're about to say it. Competition should help JG. It's either going to help him or he's going to get lost in it, and that's good for Tennessee either way.
Right. Yeah. They're going to get the best of both worlds in that. I just don't know. I don't know who you start game one. I mean, last year with JG, like anytime he made a mistake and they took him out, he always knew he was going to go back in.
Right.
So like, did you really lose your job because no one else could just overtake it?
Whatever you figured out in the final 6 games after Alabama, do that again. If you have to grab his face mask on play 1 and be like,
he was terrible.
You remember
against
this?
Indiana. He was absolutely terrible.
What?
Against Indiana. I rewatched that game. He was awful.
Indiana. When was that?
Bowl game.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was like, when do we play Indiana? Yeah. I was thinking like an early game in the season.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, he was pretty trash. Until that like last couple drives. And he just utilized his checkdowns and then made some throws, but he should have destroyed that defense. That defense was terrible.
Some things I heard, I would like to think Harrison Bailey's the number 1. But then I just see some things, I'm like, JG's the number 1 guy.
Yeah. I mean, I think the staff trust him
See,
more.
I've heard they don't.
I'm sure they, but they probably trust
By
him more
default.
than everybody else. Yeah. Just like he's probably one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC, maybe just because there's nobody
Like
else.
4th right now.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Did you see where he was? He's on an award watch.
Yeah, I did.
The Johnny Unitas.
He got put on it when the Big Ten, announced they weren't playing.
Yeah. But he's on that, and is it kind of a shot to be on that? Because it's given to like the best 4th year quarterback, but this is his 5th year. It's senior. It's given to a senior.
Oh, it's given to the best. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's just a senior. I don't know. Probably just given to him because he's a senior. I have no idea. I don't know what to think of it. I don't care. He's not gonna win. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Caden Salter. He's going to be an early enrollee.
That situation's gonna be interesting. You're gonna see one of them go
next year.
Yeah, you're gonna see one of them go. Harrison Baylor or Caden Salter.
One of them leave.
Yeah, by the end of 2021.
Well, if Harrison Bailey if he's a starter this year, that gives him 4 years. You're able to redshirt Caden Salter. He's 2 years behind Bailey. So.
I think it's something like over half the top quarterbacks and over half the 5-star quarterbacks have transferred.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I mean. It's just one of them's gonna transfer.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think it has anything to do with Tennessee necessarily.
Hopefully, we get the better one.
Just the nature
Whoever it
of
is.
how it works.
We don't care who it is. Just somebody be good.
Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Do Florida man?
Just pick the right one, unlike Georgia.
Yep. Do we have any fan questions?
I haven't got any questions.
I haven't either.
Let's see what I've got.
We got a lot of people watching on Facebook and things like that, but yeah, no questions.
Talk to us, guys. See if I can pull up the Florida man picture. This one's almost a redo. It kind of looks like our first week's, but you know, they're all their own people. I like this one a lot because it's a good little. It's a good little costume. I think you should dress up like this for Halloween. This Florida man.
I think mine's a little behind. Oh, no.
Yeah, this one's good. This is a costume I think Landon should wear for Halloween next year.
Wear it to every SEC game that I attend.
Exactly. There we go. Florida man. What you got for me?
So I have one. So Florida man, this was on March 17th, 2020. Says Florida man who is peeing all over room attacks Good Samaritan who tried to stop him. So
that's not a Good Samaritan. That's a stupid Samaritan.
So basically, this is why he's a Good Samaritan. So this guy was drunk at a party. He was a friend of a friend, and sees how drunk he is, and basically lets him stay the night at his house.
Oh, nice.
And I guess he wakes up and he sees this guy peeing all over his room. So he's trying to stop him, and the dude attacks him. So he has to call the police.
Interesting.
So yeah, free peers, man. What can you do?
I've got Florida man kidnaps scientist to make his dog immortal. So
What?
Yeah, kidnap a scientist. They find him.
Was it what kind of scientist? Just any scientist?
Yeah, who knows?
You meet him at a bar. Hey, what do you do? I'm a scientist.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think he thought it through as much as you just did in the 5 seconds that you heard about it.
I mean, that's usually most of these, though.
Right. But yeah, when questioned by police, it was to make his dog immortal. So
did it work?
I don't know. I don't think the experiment matched his hypothesis. No, I don't.
Well, maybe he just doesn't know because he's in jail.
Maybe.
So
did you
that
see
sucks. So he made him immortal, but he also had to go to jail. What a sacrifice, man!
That is. That's a good guy. That's a good guy trying to make a better life.
Maybe he's always old, had an issue. Man,
He just cared about his dog, dude.
Yeah.
Don't hate on a man who cares about his dog.
right? Man's best friend. That's why they call it.
You have a stupidity?
Yeah. So I do. Darren Ravel.
Of course.
Is he worse than Dan Wolken, or is he getting to that level?
here's the thing. Here's what's happening with Darren Ravel. He's arguing with stupid people about the coronavirus. Here's what happens when you argue with stupid people. You drive yourself crazy, either until you get crazy or stupid or both. Quit arguing with stupid people about it. Just stop.
Yep.
That's his problem. He's not stupid. He's weird as hell, but he's not stupid.
Right.
But he's getting to the point that he's stupid and crazy. Which I'm sure you're about to read.
So he says, we got the Big Ten and the Pac-12 canceled, and South Carolina AD Ray Tanner is not only talking about playing, he's talking about people in the stands. My thing is, why are you saying we got?
Yeah. What do you mean we got? Dude,
And I know he's from Northwestern. 'Cause he also
stupid.
He also
and crazy.
tweeted the amount of conference championships since '95, and Tennessee had 2, and Northwestern had 3. He tweeted that stat.
Interesting. Yeah, he's a Northwestern guy. He graduated from Northwestern.
I'm like, when has Northwestern been relevant in anything?
1997 in football, right?
Yeah, that's when they won it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the last time.
Or '95.
Whatever year. That's it. That was the last time.
Shut up, Ravel. Keep running.
He can't.
Yeah, it's awful. It's like he's pooping while he runs.
He might be.
Maybe it's like a natural laxative for him.
Yeah, maybe. I've got Urban Meyer on not knowing how mirrors work.
Urban.
Did you see this video?
I did, yeah.
So Urban Meyer's on the Big Ten Network talking about the season getting canceled. First off, holy dude, wear some sunscreen.
Man's red.
Wear some sunscreen. Second off, don't stand behind a mirror when you got half naked dudes walking in the
Was the
room.
guy holding the camera?
No, I think Urban is, or it's on like a
Okay.
tripod.
Gotcha.
And the dude just walks in. Looks like holding a beer, just broing out.
Maybe it's on his tripod.
Maybe. I just love that. I guess he's on his yacht, boat.
Who's the
whatever it is.
guy? That's kind of weird.
Zach
to me.
Smith?
Yeah.
Is he still in jail? I don't know.
No, definitely not.
He'd be fully naked.
He's hiding out on.
on his boat.
Oh, and that's how he gets caught. Oh man,
That'd be
is
such a good little like Criminal Minds episode.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Zach Smith would have been fully naked though, like he was in the White House. So it wasn't him.
Was it Tim Tebow?
Might have been Tim Tebow. I heard that there's a theory going around about him though that his penis is the reason that 2020 is what it is.
Urban Meyer's or Tim Tebow?
Tim Tebow's. Because he had sex for the first time like January 8th or something like that, 2020.
For the first time, my ass. No.
That's when he got married. That's all I'm saying.
Man's been
And the world's been crazy ever since. We went to another dimension because of his penis. It's undeniably scary accurate. That's all I'm saying.
If that's the first time Tim Tebow's had sex, then I love
He's
Florida Gators.
Maybe he's good at commitment. I don't know.
Or maybe he's doing a loophole.
It's also possible. The poop hole loophole. It's my favorite song. Yeah, no, that's possible. So I don't know, man. I wouldn't doubt Tim Tebow. I wouldn't doubt him. He has won 3 national championships, 2, and now he's beating the odds in double A ball.
Yeah, I just no.
Are they gonna make a movie about him someday?
Oh yeah, 100%.
How bad? It's gonna be made by that church that made Facing the Giants. The movie Facing the Giants is really good for its production value. I'll say that.
It's gonna be him narrating it, and he's just gonna yell the
Like
entire
Morgan
time.
Freeman?
So you're gonna have to like put it on like level 5 on your volume, because he's just gonna be yelling the entire time.
He has this sermon, speech. I don't know what it is. I don't
Morgan
know what you
Freeman?
call it. No, Tim Tebow. And he's talking about the night he wore John 3:16 on his eye black, and he reads off these stats. And I went and looked them up, and none of them are true. I was like, "You've made everyone in this room dumber." May God have mercy on your soul. I award you no points.
I award you no points.
It's just like, I can't believe he said it. Like, he read a Facebook meme and got cucked by his own meme.
And he just thinks people aren't going to look up those stats.
I guess. I need to... Maybe he like threw it. Maybe he did like Pro Football Focus. In the third quarter, with 3 minutes and 16 seconds left, I had exactly 316 yards. If that's not God, I don't know what is.
He said that?
No.
I was going to say, that's...
He did allude to all of that. I was like, dude, God doesn't give a crap about that. Oh, I need... We're going to watch it when we get off here because...
Oh my gosh. That's all I got for stupidity.
Yeah, that's all I've got too. Do we get anybody in the Facebook comments with the hashtag GBO?
Nope.
Nope.
I guess people don't want free money.
We saw.
That's cool.
I did see one last time after the show, and I know the comments can get lost.
Ooh.
So do we want to give it to the person I saw do it last time?
Yeah, we can.
That was Justin Robinson.
Hey.
So if you listen to the show, or if you listen to the show before, let's say before Saturday night, Justin, just DM More Important Issues or Volunteer Roadshow.
So contact email winner at volunteerroadshow.com.
Do that.
And they
Tell them where you heard it.
Yeah, tell them our show, More Important Issues, and then your contact information, and they'll get in touch with you and tell you how you can redeem that.
Yeah,
gift
do that.
Yep.
That's what you'll do. Perfect. So Justin Robinson, congratulations.
So they are real. I don't know if people just thought we were just
Messing with
blowing
them?
smoke up their butt.
Yeah.
But
What are you doing with their butt?
whatever somebody's doing to Darren Ravel.
Oh, God. While he runs?
Yeah.
The show is taking some turns.
Yep.
I
My
don't know
man's
what's
like
happening.
constantly chafing.
I feel that pain. I'm with it.
Well, you have thick thighs.
I have very thick thighs. And I'm faster than Darren Ravel.
You are.
Because you draw power from the thighs.
I feel like a lot of people are faster than Darren Ravel.
That's fair.
So I don't want to give you too much credit because Darren Ravel is not very fast.
That's fair.
But you are faster than him.
That's fair. We're going to close out the show faster than Darren Ravel can run. And I'm going to close it out incredibly slow. So thank you all for listening.
We're bringing the boat in, and we out.